the distributions we have in statistics. Generally, in statistics, we have two categories of distribution. We have the discrete probability distribution. We also have the continuous probability distribution. Now, for the discrete probability distribution, we have two common examples, which is the binomial distribution and the Poisson distribution. Now, the continuous probability distribution includes your z-test, your t-test, your analysis of variance, or what have you. So, in this class, we're going to be looking at binomial distribution. It's actually a distribution of two possible outcomes, okay? What we call the binary trial. The kind of trial we have in statistics where you have two possible outcomes. But before we dive fully into what binomial distribution is all about, I want us to go through what I call the learning objectives. So, but before then, it's important to understand that in statistics, our goal is not necessarily to describe data, but to make inference even from data. So, for the learning objective, at the end of this presentation, I expect that you should be able to define what binomial distribution is all about. You should be able to identify binomial experiments, and again, apply the formula of binomial distribution, or call it the binomial formula, to what? To different experiments, and also be able to compute for different probability. So, the big question is, what is binomial distribution again? It is a distribution that describes probability of obtaining a fixed number of success. In binomial distribution, we talk about success and failure. But it's important to understand that the context of success does not necessarily mean a desirable outcome. It just means a desired outcome. An outcome may not be desirable, an outcome may be negative, but that notwithstanding, whatever the researcher indicates at the beginning of the experiment is what we indicate as a desired outcome. So the binomial distribution tries to describe the probability of obtaining a fixed number, an absolute number of successes in a fixed number of independent trials. So maybe you are making 2-3 trials. We want to know the number of successes in those trials, and also with constant probability of success. So usually the probability of success will be given, and then you'll be expected to determine the probability of obtaining the success of a particular event. So, but there are important conditions for binomial experiment that you must be familiar with. The first condition is you must be dealing with a fixed number of trials. Okay, absolute number 4, 5, 6, 3, 2. It must be a fixed number of trials. The second important condition is only 2 outcomes is expected from a trial, either head or tail, true or false, success or failure. There must be absolutely 2 possible outcomes. And of course, again, the constant probability, the probability of success must be constant. An independent trial must be established. The independence of each trial must also be established. Now, let's look at a few examples to illustrate what binomial distribution is actually all about. Of course, I've mentioned that it's a distribution of success and failure events. Okay, and then an example is when you talk of diseased and not diseased, maybe in an experiment, or survive versus dead. In an experiment, our interest may be those that actually died. Okay, it could even be those that were diseased. Okay, so the researcher in a binomial distribution usually indicates the desired outcome. So we can also have vaccinated, not vaccinated, infected, not infected. Okay, usually in a binomial experiment, the probability of success will be indicated, and that success will be defined. Okay, it could be defined as a disease, it could be defined as a survived, it could also be defined as the infected. So that infected becomes our desired outcome. Now let's look at the formula of binomial distribution. When you look at this interesting looking formula here. This is the probability of x equal to s, given that s combination x, p to the power of x, 1 minus p, 1 minus q, 1 minus p to the power of n minus x. So, and these are the description of the different components of our formula. The n here stands for number of trials, while the x stands for number of successes we are interested in, while the p is the probability of success, which is usually given, okay, and it could also be computed for, and then n combination x is what we have as indicated in the formula. Now, in binomial distribution, we also calculate for the mean of our distribution. Now, this is the formula for the mean of our distribution, and as well we calculate for the variance of our distribution. To compute for the mean of the distribution, it is numbers of what? Numbers of trial multiplied by what? The probability of success, which is NP. While our variance is calculated as number of success multiplied by the probability, bracket open and close, 1 minus what? P. Okay, so that is how we compute for the variance in binomial distribution. Now, but how do we interpret the result of binomial experiment? We see it as the probability of observing X events out of what? N trial. Okay, so let's have a few examples. Now, for instance, if we say the probability that a cow has mastitis is P equal to 0.2, what is the probability that 3 out of 5 cows are what? Are infected? So this is how questions or problem or binomial distribution is actually framed. Okay, let's look at another example. For this case is that of a vaccine response. Let's say if 70% of vaccinated dogs respond, what is the probability that 4 out of what? 6 dogs actually responded? Okay, so this is another example of a binomial experiment. But now we have a picture of how the question on binomial distribution is framed. Let's look at a few questions that we can actually solve conclusively. Now, okay, we have another example. The third example is on mortality and poultry. If mortality rate is 10%, what is the probability that 2 out of 8 birds actually die? So this is another example, is a bonus. Now let's look at questions this time around. Now in a herd, the probability of infection is P equal to 0.3. Now here we are given the probability of success. And recall that the outcome of interest is what? Is infection. And that describes our what? Success. So when there's an infection in a particular herd, that is what? A desired outcome. That is the success we are talking about. Recall I mentioned that success in terms of binomial distribution does not necessarily indicate a pleasant outcome, but a desirable what? Outcome. So here we have to find the probability that exactly 2 out of 4 animals are what? Are infected. Now, how do we go about this? I'm going to explain this for the sake of clarity in different steps. If this is the first time you are joining me on this channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video, share it with others so that they that may be interested in this topic can as well benefit. So let's look at step by step how to approach this particular problem. Now, but it's important I state that what we are interested here now is the probability of X equal to 2. Now, when you read the question again, you say, find the probability that exactly 2. So, expressing it mathematically, we say P, probability of X, equal to what? Equal to 2. It's important you're able to express this for the sake of clarity, okay? Now, the first step you are going to take is to identify the values in the formula, okay? The formula has been clearly stated here. You want to identify individual value. N stands for what? Number of trial. X is equals to what? The desired event of interest. And then we have the P, which is the success. Okay, probability of success is given as 0.3. Now, it's important to understand that in binomial distribution, success is a complement of failure. Failure is a complement of success. If the probability of success is 0.3, then the probability of failure will be what? 0.7. Good. So to calculate the probability of failure, you subtract the probability of success from what? From 1. So that is why our Q in this case is given as what? Is given as 0.7. Great. So going back to the step again. So this is the first step we are going to take. We want to identify the various values. Now, moving forward, the next step is to apply the formula. So we have been able to substitute, putting 2 here. Recall that we're interested in probability that exactly 2. Okay? And then 4 combination 2. 4 is what? 4 is our number of trial. 2 is our probability of interest we are interested in. So we put it there. We insert all the necessary something, and then we compute. Now in computing, our combination component gives us 6, and then we can insert it into the formula, and then we follow through, and our final answer is given as what? 0.2646. Good. Now, but what does this actually mean when it comes to binomial distribution? So when we say the probability of x is exactly 2 is equal to 0.265, what does it mean? It simply means that there are 26.5% chance that exactly 2 out of 4 animals will be what? Will be infected when the infection probability is given at what? 0.3. So this is the sense we try to make when it comes to binomial distribution. Now let's see another example. Now for a vaccine is said to be effective in 80% of animals, and here we are given probability of effectiveness, which is 0.8. Okay, so we have to find the probability that 5 out of 7 animals actually respond successfully. 5 out of 7 animals respond successfully. So the same way we are going to follow our step, but before then we need to express this mathematically so that we can have a clear understanding of the context. So we say probability of x equal what? Equal 5. There are times question may be asked that what is the probability that at least 5? So at least 5 is different from exactly 5. Okay, but let's stick with this very example. So P probability of x equal to 5. That is the focus of this question. So let's observe it step by step. The first step is also to identify the value. 7 is the number of trial. X is our expected outcome, and then we have the probability of success, and also we have the probability of failure. Recall I said it is a complement of one another. So what we have done is that we have been able to identify the various values that are involved in this particular question. Now the next question we are going to see, the next thing we are going to do is to substitute. We substitute the values into our formula. So substituting it into our formula, we have this, and then we can now compute. So when we compute, our final answer is 0.275. Good, 0.275. Now, but what does this final answer actually mean? It simply means that there are 27.5% chance that exactly 5 out of 7 animals will actually respond successfully even to our vaccine. I hope this is very, very clear. Good. So, in summary, binomial distribution model the concept of success and failure in an experiment. More importantly, an experiment that has dichotomous outcome, 2 possible outcomes, head or tail, true or false, yes or no. When you have a data set that your possible outcome is either true or false, there are 2 possible outcomes, then you are dealing with binomial distribution. And of course, it requires fixed trial. Independence of individual trial is important, and constant probability is equally important. And this is the module we are going to take on binomial distribution. Please join me again as I explain more complex aspects of what? Of statistics. My name is Dr. Felix Ayodele. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with colleagues. Thanks for listening.